Grey Sheep episode 2.
Come on, lady. ほら今夜もまたこんな時間に突然残る Not again, lady. お構いなしだねわがまま baby 今すぐに会いに行くよひらひらりゆらゆらりこの夜をかける君の影たどって教えてよどこにいる Guilty, 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 baby 始めようか Chasing, chasing, endless Chasing, chasing, tenderness このお遊びに夢中さ君は言うだろう Chasing, chasing, all the night Catch me, catch me if you can 後悔するなよ Crazy lady Daddy, are you ready? Really, are you okay? Really, really, are you? 瞳開いてみてさ捕まえた恋もせずにまたいつものサイン付き合いきれないよ Not again, lady わかってるんでしょ知ってたか baby 放っておけるはずがない
Now, I've been saying this, Grey Sheep has a really cool division of sounds between Goat and Bad Skunk, and they have unique lineups with unique themes and unique sound that suits those themes and those vibes, and this is, I believe, the best organized 2D music project to date, I must say, because they are really sticking to, if these groups sound like these or they have this specific vibe, they are going to sound like these and not like that or that. They are going to sound like these. So they are really consistent in their sound, in their delivery, and even on the vibe that they deliver with each song. Because if the group is edgy, the songs are going to be edgy. If the group is all about being orderly, the songs are really satisfying to the point that they are really pleasing with how organized the sound as a whole is. And this is exactly what you find in episode 2. On one hand, we have Goat, and Goat released Guilty Baby. This is a really funky song. I love it. 2 beats, really. I was expecting a good song. I was not expecting an amazing song. And what they delivered was really an amazing song. And honestly, I'm all in for how funky and jazzy this song is, because I was not expecting that to happen, and that has happened. And this is really awesome. They had a really ethereal sound in the previous releases, but now they had a more playful, more elegant and stylish sound. I was not expecting this yet again, but this suits them really, really well. And now the lineup is no longer comprised of 3 members. There's a lot of people right now in this group. So it's no longer Seiichiro Yamashita, Kentito, and Yohei Hazakami. We have new members, and the new members include Shogo Sakata, Shun Horie, and Tatsumaru Tachibana. Let me tell you first that Shogo Sakata is the only seiyuu in this group that I'm not familiar with. Tatsumaru Tachibana, I have listened or heard him sing before, so I do know how he sings and how he sounds. And Shun Horie doesn't need necessarily a presentation, I believe. By now, he's considered one of the best singers among the newest generation, or let's say the generation of those seiyuu in their 30s. He's amazing, he's a really good singer, and he adds a lot to this lineup. So we have now a lineup comprised of 6 singers, and you would suspect, or at least I was expecting, that with the group bringing new people into the mix, that we would get a big mess on the vocal end. Especially because if there are more people, the ones that were singing get less lines. Proportionally, they will all get less lines than they were getting up until now. So their songs will no longer be as ethereal and so tight in terms of quality as they were before. And this was something that I noticed in these songs specifically, but still their quality is up there really, really high, because Tatsumaru Tachibana, Shun Horie, and Shogo Sakata actually added a lot to the lineup. They didn't take anything away. and by getting a bit of time of their own in the performance, either because they were in the background, and in this way you could have everyone getting enough time or enough lines, but they were really adding something to the final mix, and this was something that I really was worried that maybe wouldn't work as well, but for Goat it worked really well. They sound amazingly. They are really stylish. One thing that I like a lot about Tatsumaru Tachibana is that he has a certain elegance to his performances. It comes with his background as a stage actor and a kabuki actor, so he does have that natural allure and elegance in the way that he performs, and it shows in the way he performs here with the group. Shogo Sakata I was not familiar with, and I'm still not familiar with. I really understood that he was the one performing a specific part because he was the only voice that I didn't recognize in the song. But as it is, he did perform really well and with quite a lot of power. So I was really impressed with how Goat managed to handle a 6-piece group instead of a 3-piece group. So it was really fine to come across this song, listen to it, groove alongside it, because it actually didn't take long for me to actually start grooving to this song, because it is so groovy, it is so danceable, it is so disco meets jazz that I was all in on this, because this is exactly what I like to find when you talk about a mature style of song for 2D groups or for male seiyuu artists. And I find that this is the most laid back way that you can present a group, be really technical and fun at the same time without being cheesy. And this group actually managed to pull all that off in Guilty Baby. So this is a big highlight in this CD, and honestly, to me, this is the best song in this CD. And now you may be thinking, but Vanessa, you said you don't like pop music, you continue to like Goat's music, which is mainly pop. What about Bad Skunk?
The number you have dialed is not available at present. Please leave your message on
I have a problem with Bad Skunk. Various, actually. First off, Bad Skunk has one of the best lineups I could ever imagine for a group. The problem is their music doesn't really fit well with their vocals. It's too chaotic to actually work well with the vocals that they have. So Bad Skunk does have really cool music, and I've said before I like their music, but I don't like their music as much as I like Goat's. That's a big difference. So while I will rank both pretty high most of the times, I actually tend to lean a bit more towards Goat's music because their music sounds more harmonious to me, and even I that listen to psychedelic music and industrial music and experimental music, I'm used to crazy compositions and basically songs to change their sound every 10 seconds or something of the sort, but still I find Nuts Addiction, the song by Bad Skunk, to be way over the top to the point that it doesn't make any sense. It still captures really well their whole vibe. They are working outside of the law, they are doing things behind the scenes, it's a grimy, dirty place in which they are, and it evokes that vibe of dark alleys and crime and everything else, so it fits really well. So the concept is not wrong. What's wrong, it's the execution, to me at least. So the concept is well captured, the vibe is well captured, all the members in the group can really deliver on that, but the song is a bit all over the place. It is dark, gritty, dirty in its rock and drum and bass plus jungle style of percussion. Then it adds a little bit of urgency with rock and synths coming across or clashing with the guitars. Then we have, well, we have a lot. We have an industrial rock style of section. Then we have a stadium rock part in the chorus. So the song almost shifts music genres every 15 to 20 seconds. It's a lot to take in. It's not the easiest song to become a fan of. I don't dislike it entirely, but to me it's a song that lacks a bit on the delivery. Perhaps, for example, if we took the drum and bass and jungle parts away from this song, the song would still sound a bit chaotic. It would still capture really well that grimy, gritty vibe that they have, and the kind of lawless concept that they have. It would still be that at its core. It didn't need the jungle or the drum and bass in there. It sounds a bit over the top in terms of percussion, and while it may add a layer of unpredictability, which is good to have in this case, it still is a bit too much to handle, in my opinion. So I feel that while the idea was good, the concept was well executed, the song itself didn't deliver what I was expecting. I was expecting a sound that was a bit more grounded. I wouldn't say easier to listen, because their sound is not easy to listen with BAD SKUNK. It's usually pretty intense, pretty aggressive, so it's not necessarily easy listening for everyone. But for me, it was okay what they were doing before. Nuts Addiction, not so much. I enjoyed the song, but I didn't fall in love with it like I did with the previous song. So that's a bit of a turn off for me, because they had the potential. For example, the chorus is really, really good. I do enjoy that stadium rock vibe. The whole group is singing in unison. You get to listen to almost everyone clearly. Still, there are some problems in the mixing. For example, Shunichi Toki is nowhere to be found at times, and he ends up being buried in the chorus. Kohei Masaki also doesn't sound as well as everyone else, not because of skill, but because of the mixing. Of course, Makoto Furukawa, Yoshiki Nakajima, and Yuichiro Mehara were sounding incredibly well. In this case, Yoshiki Nakajima is performing as a fob baritone, is doing what everyone loves, which is to go for those low notes, and he's sounding almost like Yuichiro Mehara, and Kentaro Kumagai is a mix of both in this performance. A big reason why Kentaro Kumagai ends up buried in the mix, it's because Yoshiki Nakajima has much more power in his performance than Kentaro Kumagai has. In comparison, Nakajima is a completely different beast on the vocal end. It's crazy. You cannot hold anyone's attention with how frequently you are changing music genres or vibes within a song. So it breaks a bit of the immersion and makes a song not as easy to follow as, for example, Goat's Guilty Baby. But what I feel about the performances that BAD SKUNK have delivered so far is that their music doesn't really match the quality that they have on the vocal end. And while their music is good, their vocals are amazing, and the songs do not keep up with how amazing the vocals are. That's what I feel about BAD SKUNK. That the music has yet to catch up to the quality of the vocals lineup for BAD SKUNK. And when the music catches up, and the quality is really on a really high level, BAD SKUNK is going to be the best group in this franchise. But so far, it is GOAT, at least for me. So this was my take on Grey Sheep Episode 2, a CD with 2 new songs by BAD SKUNK and GOAT, and yet again with more drama tracks exploring more of the world of Grey Sheep.